What are some of the cultural and organizational challenges that data science teams face as they scale up AI and the use of AI within their organizations?
Yeah, there's a few challenges we have. I guess the biggest question is because we are sitting on a huge amount of transactional data, is what's the right thing to do with this data, right? Which go beyond of what's legal, what's GDPR compliance, what's privacy, is more in the space that Dan was talking about, data ethics. I would like to distinguish between what's the usage of data for operational reasons toward anything else. So let me put things in perspective. So Visa globally process around 130 billion transactions per year, which is quite a significant number. And this happened also in a very fast time. So this morning at 9:31 p.m. IM, we probably process in Europe around 3,000 transactions. So we do use artificial intelligence in this context to prevent fraud. And that's quite a kind of a safe place to be because everybody understands why we do that and everybody understands that it's important. We estimate that per year we save about $25 billion in fraud in the ecosystem, so that's good. It's all about balances. Anna this morning talked about all the dials and when you move one in one direction, what happens with the others. Of course, if you go in the morning and want to tap the card and pay for something, you want that transaction is going to be frictionless and it happens like relatively quickly. But in about 1 millisecond, we actually check that your transaction is safe and there is no fraud. Visa has been using artificial intelligence to prevent fraud since 1993. We used to use neural network for that context, and then we continue to develop. So this is an example where we feel really comfortable about, that's the right thing to do for the consumer, for the ecosystem, for everyone. Of course, when you sit on a huge amount of data, there's other things you can do, either in a commercial space or anything else. And in this context, everything becomes much more complicated because the question is, what's the right things to do with the data we can have access to? And then just getting all the balance right is the key. One specific example, which is quite current in today's environment, is about, within the context of data ethics, is about explicability. So I use an algorithm, I build an algorithm, but let me wear now my consumer hat. I would like to know if a company uses my data to make a decision about my financial life or anything. I would like to know why the outcome was yes or no, for argument's sake. Imagine I apply for a loan or a mortgage or whatever. And the more we use and we scale and we leverage artificial intelligence or advanced analytics in general to make those decisions, the more those decisions are basically get digitized, automatic, the machine learning about pattern and behavior. But I do have an accountability, I do have a responsibility toward the rest of the world. I can't just say, computer said yes, computer said no. I need to be able to explain why things happen in a certain way or in another. And when we talk with, you were mentioning about some of the cultural challenges. When we work with the team of data scientists, of course, they have a problem to solve. And sometimes, the more you want to put power behind the algorithm, the less you're able to explain how the outcome has been generated. And therefore, where do you draw the line? This is just an example where you constantly need to think about how do I balance the power of the algorithm versus my appetite to kind of express or explain to the consumer or to the client how the outcome come out for.
Got it.
But it's all about getting all those balances right in order to do the right things for the consumer and for the clients.
Sure. Thanks, Pier.